I picked a movie quote. This is, if you build it, they will come. And the reason I picked this one is because I think a lot of people think about small businesses, side hustles, doing stuff on the side. I work with a lot of people and coming up with some way to make some extra income. And I don't know how this phrase got into the psyche the way it did. And the idea was this guy was supposed to build this baseball diamond out in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, and they didn't know that if it was going to make any money. And James Earl Jones says, if you build it, they'll come, and people will pay $20, $50 to see it. And the idea, I think, is that, or the implication is that if you put in a certain amount of effort, you will get a certain amount of value back. It is really based on the effort you put in, and there's so much more to it. It's the value that it provides. It's the market demand out there. There's all these things, and so many people just kind of believe that my effort is going to result in some sort of compensation, and that's just not how it works. It can. Some hard labor can definitely get rewarded with money or a business or a growing business or demand or clients, but it's not just because you put in effort. You can spend all day digging a hole in your lawn and filling it back up, and that's a lot of effort, but no one's going to give you money for it.
Yeah, I was thinking that a good example is like doing house repairs. If you go online and look up,
literally build it.
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah, there are best ROI for your dollar things in your house. Like doing kitchen is number one and bathrooms is number two or whatever it is. But let's just say that you're in a market where home prices are crashing. It does not matter that you just spent $20,000 on your new kitchen if home prices are crashing. You can try to list it for $20,000 more than what you bought it for, or depending on the timing. But the market is going to drive what people are going to pay for it, and so there's maybe some aspect of getting something back, but the market is a pretty big driver on what's going to happen there. That house is a particular one, I think, because home improvements are a big thing for a lot of people that own a house. You have personal value you've associated with your house. Like even if anyone listening has ever sold a house, you feel personally tied to that and you have a value you've associated with it. And like you can have all these things that you think make the house at that value, that price, but then interest rates are high. People aren't buying houses. Like it brings down the home prices. There's all these factors out of your control that could bring it into a different category than you were ever even thinking. And that can be really hard because it has like kind of nothing to do with what you did. So to your point, just because you put in all that money, that time, that energy doesn't necessarily 100% guarantee you're going to get that same value out of it.
I even say good market or bad market, just because I remember watching like house flippers where they got a kitchen and put it in and they think it's beautiful, but nobody coming through thinks it's beautiful. They're thinking, oh, I'm going to have to gut this. And they're like, I put $50,000 in this kitchen. It doesn't matter what you put into it. You could have put 500, but if someone loves it and it's worth 50,000, they'll pay that. But if you made it to your style and nobody else likes it, then it's not worth it. So it's one of those things where it's something from a movie that had to do with a fantasy scene, and it's really not based on anything. I've never seen it in a business book. I've never read about it in some sort of like strategy workshop or anything. And it's weird because I hear it a lot, right? Or I at least see the philosophy being acted out in a way that they believe that the inputs will directly result in outputs, and it's just not the way it works. I just want to caution people, especially when we're thinking about, hey, where can I put in some money? I've got this great idea to build this business on the side, and you're not thinking about like the demand and will people pay for it and all this stuff, but it's a really smart idea. No one's had it. It's really unique. It's going to take me a year to put this thing together. I'm going to have to dump a lot of money into it, and you could end up with a big goose egg on your hands.